Senior Connections, a show about senior issues and events. A guide to active, independent living. Senior Connections, with your hosts, Margie Toms and Janet Halliday.
Welcome to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday, and Margie has taken the afternoon off. And for those of you who have been watching, you're going to be familiar with our guest, Sion Owen. He's been doing the little segment we call Prescription Profile and been telling you all about durable medical equipment. But today we're going to talk to Sion, and he's going to elaborate on some of the products that he has, and you're going to become more familiar with him and his store. Welcome to the show, Sion.
Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it.
Now, as we were talking off the air, you said you got carded the other day at Walmart. I can't believe that you've been in this business for 20 years. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in this.
Well, I grew up in retail pharmacy with my dad. He owned a pharmacy and diabetic supply company and was one of the first diabetic educators in the Columbia area. So I've learned over the course of time, from sweeping floors to filling stock machines to counting prescription drugs, this business. And so it grew from pharmacy into durable medical equipment, and we merged with a mid-sized company in the local market in 2004. And I learned even more and began to run all of their DME locations as their director of retail services before they closed that division in 2011.
So now you have a retail store.
Yes.
As opposed to what I consider a traditional durable medical equipment service.
Exactly.
So can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to open a retail establishment versus the traditional?
Sure. Well, a lot of healthcare is changing, and you have 80 million baby boomers hitting the marketplace. Retail is going to be a strong aspect of that because as people are aging, they're looking for products and services. And as insurance companies are decreasing reimbursements and or coverage of items, there's going to be an open place in the market. So
now I'm going to interrupt you right there. So now you were saying insurance is going to decrease. Now, does that also apply for Medicare?
Yes, Medicare is decreasing a lot of their reimbursement levels and have over the course of a number of years.
So these folks will be paying out of pocket for the same things that they were getting on Medicare or through their insurance.
Exactly.
Okay.
As more and more items are becoming retail available, there will be a cut probably in those items. There'll still be items such as oxygen and rehab equipment that you can get from a traditional DME company, but they're going to start paying for base items, and they already are. So you'll have your Medicare reimbursed item versus the bells and whistles that most people want because of convenience and ease and comfort that they need as they grow old. So
now tell us a little bit about the products that you carry versus, like I said, the traditional. You carry things that you can find in maybe larger, like pharmacies?
There are some things that can be found in pharmacies or your box retailers. The difference that's going to be with my store is that I will carry different product selections, more of a medical grade, as well as the customer service and expertise you get from my knowledge base. There are a lot of things out there that if you don't know what you're looking for or how to find the product that's best for you, then you're going to be looking and shooting in the dark and probably wasting money. I have this happen a lot of time with patients coming in. They've been prescribed a blood pressure monitor, and they go to Walmart and they get a base item, basically that's a little bit cheaper in brand. But then 6 months down the road, it's either not working, not functioning, or they're getting incorrect results. They could have come out a little bit better by investing a little bit more time and effort with someone who has expertise that can help size them and show them better products that are available. You get what you pay for a lot of times. And so,
well, going back to that, and having come from a nursing background, I know a lot of times that the physician writes the order and says, here, go get one of these. And you were talking about specifically blood pressure cuffs. And one of the things that people don't understand is the size of the cuff.
Correct.
So explain what I mean by that.
Well, the expertise and the knowledge, you want to have someone who can size you for items, that can look at your home environment to see what's best for you and your circumstance, and give you suggestions and options. One size doesn't fit all. And so in healthcare, as we are changing, and especially in DME equipment, one size is basically what Medicare is going to pay for. And so you've got to look outside of that system, and as things are going to be cut in reimbursement, you're going to be left with a pocket anyway. So you want to find something of value, and you want to find something that's going to be of quality that you can rely on. Getting something sometimes from a botch retailer may not be that best thing. And plus, how are you going to get the expertise that you need to choose that item when a cashier is looking at you going, oh, I only work here?
Right. That was one of the things I know we met probably close to 4 years ago that I was so impressed with your base knowledge of these products. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I am getting the signal. We are going to take our first break. And if you're looking for rehabilitation services or long-term care services, give Tracy Crafts a call with Life Care Center of Columbia, and she'll be happy to tell you more about their services. And we'll be right back.
Senior Connections, brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Comfort Keepers of Columbia, comforting solutions for in-home care. Anesthesiology Consultants, board-certified anesthesiologists with over 400 years of combined anesthesia experience, serving these fine institutions throughout the Midlands for over 25 years. Carnegie & Mosley Funeral Home and Cremation Services, our family serving your family since 1884. Hall Tax and Planning, helping you work towards a worry-free retirement.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday, and again, Margie has taken the afternoon off, and we're talking with Sion Owen. He is the owner of MedPoint Medical, and he has a retail store that provides durable medical equipment. And if you're familiar with our show, he is also doing our new little segment called Prescription Profile. And before, I want to come back, and we were talking about blood pressure cuffs briefly. And I wanted to make sure that people understood that with blood pressure cuffs, you have to have the appropriate size cuff.
Yes, that's where a lot of people make the mistake, is that they don't buy the right type of blood pressure monitor, whether it's digital or a traditional brand, and they don't get the right cuff. If you don't get the right cuff, then it could affect your outcomes.
Now, I want to go into your diabetic supplies, because you work with, is it Care Improvement Plus?
Yes, I'm contracted out with Care Improvement Plus and now Humana to provide direct services to patients. So if you have Humana or Care Improvement Plus, you can contact me, and we actually do in-home fittings for those patients. And I do it statewide, so I'm the largest.
So you travel the whole state?
I travel the entire state.
Now, the thing I was most impressed with when I was in the store is you have a huge selection.
Yes, I like to pride myself on having the largest selection of diabetic shoes in Columbia.
And I was going to say, and they are nice looking shoes.
They are. They've come a long way from the time that I used to do this. Way back in the first part when they introduced the shoe bill in 1993, they have changed dramatically. So there are a lot of great selections and a lot of good styles that are out there. Now,
you were saying earlier something about Medicare demonstrate. They used to do a lot of amputees.
Yes, that's why they did the diabetic shoe bill basically in 1993, so that they can cut down on the number of amputations. If they can do preventative measures, in this case with a person's foot, a patient who may have peripheral neuropathy or callus formation or spots on their feet causing problem, poor circulation. They saved money in the long run. In fact, they just did their, I think, 10-year study where they've proved that they have been able to cut down on the number of amputations.
Now, Medicare pays for what, one
pair of diabetic shoes and 3 pair of either heat molded inserts or custom molded inserts based on the patient's indication.
And you actually travel out and do personal fittings.
Yes, in the home.
And why is that important, Sean, to do a personal fitting?
A personal fitting is necessary, one, for Medicare regulations. They require that a certified fitter fits you for your diabetic shoes, and it takes an initial fit and then a subsequent fit after the shoes have been delivered to make sure that there's no problem areas. That's why it's important to do that. It's also important that you have someone who is certified and has experience, and I've been doing this for close to 20 years now.
Right. Well, so now you do the initial fit, then do you take the shoes back to them, and then you go through and you fit them again when the shoes come in?
Exactly.
So you don't just send them the shoes?
No, in fact, that's something that's a no-no with Medicare. And there are a lot of companies out there that do that. And if you ever had that done, then they're not doing it correctly, and they could possibly be audited and that money could be taken away. So it's very important that you choose the right company that actually knows what they're doing. But what's more important is that the companies that I'm working with, Care Improvement Plus and Humana now, actually have a care management program. And that's key, because they're working directly with your doctor or a case manager, in this case mostly nurses, on the phone that contact you regarding your disease state and help you with getting the right type of care that you need. So whether it's a heart monitor or a scale because you have congestive heart failure, or diabetic shoes because you're a diabetic, it's important that you work closely with those case managers so that they can help you make the right determinations according to your care.
So do you provide those other types of equipment you just named?
I do, actually, as things are changing in insurance. You know, I provide different types of health and wellness products in my store that are either not covered under Medicare or in some cases could be covered under Medicare. So I provide a wide variety of ambulatory items, bath safety items, home modification units, diabetic supplies, diabetic shoes, nutraceutical supplements, the Lifeline Alert Century type of products for in the home, as well as wound care items, ostomy products, urological products, bracing. I do a lot of bracing, and orthotics, because I deal with a lot of feet. And so I help people with choosing the right orthotic for their shoes.
Well, and one of the items that you didn't mention was incontinence supplies.
Yes, yes.
So do you have several products or just a couple, or do you just work with one provider?
I have access to several products, but I really promote Tranquility products in the retail line because they are one of the top-notch companies that are providing a very good product for customers. They're a little bit more costly, but you get what you pay for, and people don't realize that. If you buy a cheap, it's inexpensive thing, you're going to be turning around in 6 to 7 months to buy another one.
Well, if you are having issues with a loved one in placement, or you don't understand what benefits you might qualify for, if you would like a brochure from Aging Gracefully, we'll be happy to send you one, and it has all of their services, and we'll be right back.
Today we're going to discuss walkers. Now, choosing the right walker is important. Sometimes during discharge, a lot of hospitals give what they call the traditional walker, or your doctor may order you a traditional walker with 2 wheels. A traditional walker looks like this, and you're probably familiar with it. It pulls out and allows you to have the ability to step inside the walker. Of course, it is adjustable so that you can pull it to the certain height that the patient is. Again, you want to make sure that it's a good height for you, and you want to have it about a 45-degree angle from your hips, and the ability that you can walk inside of it as you're walking. Now, a traditional walker comes with 2 wheels and little gliders on the bottom. These are not brakes, they're just little pushies that help you to push it back in, so when you're ready to store it, you can put it away. They make other walkers out there that are good as well, and that give you the ability to have comfort and convenience. Now, one of the things that's new out on the market is called the Metro Walker. It's almost the size of an umbrella. Very quick and convenient to get in and out of a car. And it's also very quick and convenient to push out and to move forward. It adjusts as well. It has smaller wheels and has the little glider tips as well. And it actually uses the pressure of your palms to stop it whenever you need to. The Metro Walker is a great assessment, so if you're going on a trip or traveling light, you may want to consider one of these. Other walkers that are available are what they call the traditional rollator walkers. Now the rollator walkers can be covered under insurance as well. They cover basically a walker with 2 wheels and a seat attachment, and that's how it's covered. They come in 2 different styles. You have a regular walker, which is for patients 5'4" and above, or a junior walker, which is for patients 5'4" and below. They come with what they call brake assessments, and they actually pull down in order to stop it. It's not a true braking system, but it does allow you to have some stability, especially when you want to turn around and sit down in your walker. It also has the curved back, or they can have a straight back. There are a variety of different styles. They're very easy to get in and out of the car. You pull up and you set inside. They also come with an attachment, such as this basket. Some of them come with vinyl baskets underneath. So the rollator walkers are a good walker that you could use for travel purposes as well. A new Canadian style walker is called the Excursion. Now I love this walker. Not only is it in Gamecock colors, but it also gives you the ability to pull up, and it's lighter. It's 19 pounds, so you can store it very easily. It has the larger wheels, gives you better stability, especially if you're walking on gravel or maybe a dirt road or out in the garden or something like that. It gives you strong stability. And the back is curved. A lot better ergonomical function than some of the traditional ones. This allows you to really sit down and have that support to your back whenever you need to sit down. And of course, it has really glided handles that are real soft and comfortable, and of course the braking system that pushes down to allow you to sit down. So for more information about walkers and a wide selection, come see me, Sion Owen, at MedPoints Medical Specialties, 728-0122.
How have these homeowners achieved greater financial flexibility? With a reverse mortgage from a trusted source, MetLife Bank. If you're a homeowner age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage could make a difference in your life too.
It is the best thing we've ever done. I am so relieved.
It really lets me sleep at night.
Why not learn the facts today from a MetLife Bank reverse mortgage consultant? There's no obligation.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday, and Margie's taking that afternoon break. We are talking with Sion Owens from MedPoint Medical, and he's telling us about durable medical equipment and some of the impact that it's going to have from the health care bill that just recently passed. Before we went to break, we were talking about some of the products that you carry, and one of them was incontinence supplies. And I was talking about the number of manufacturers that you carry, and you were giving me the answer, I believe.
Yes, I've got access to various different manufacturers, but the one that I really find the best is Tranquility Products. It has a very good water retention rate, and they've made their product exceptional. And I've had a lot of people comment and say they really like this better than your traditional Walmart or Depends brands, because they actually carry more weight and or water retention. So it really is helpful in the long term as far as the number of loads of laundry a person has to do if they have a problem in the bed, as well as just their general confidence during the day if they're having to wear a product during the day or night.
Now, when someone comes in and purchases like those types of things, do they have to continue, or can you send those items to them?
They can actually be sent directly to the customer. We're in a difficult period in our time because of the gas prices, and freight charges are so expensive. So purchasing them in the store sometimes is a little bit more cost effective for people. So I have a lot of customers who come in and actually purchase them in the store. But they can be sent to the home personally without a lot of markings on the back, so that way they're not embarrassed about receiving that. So that is an option for them.
I think that that's one of the drawbacks to purchasing the Depends, is when you're going through, it's like, oh, here, hello, everybody, oh, you must have a problem. Yes, I like the idea that a lot of these things can be sent directly to the home.
They can.
Because those things are private. I haven't figured out how they get by without having that HIPAA. HIPAA is everywhere. Yeah. Now, one of the other items that you carry a large variety of is the compression stocking.
Yes, I've done a segment on that with Senior Connections and found that to be very insightful for a lot of people who aren't aware about compression therapy, or either are given a general prescription for TED hose and don't know what they're supposed to be looking for.
Well, so I didn't understand until you did the segment for us that TED hose, TED hose, the white ones that everybody wears in the hospital, are to be used when you're in bed, correct?
Correct. Or if you're in a hospital bed or a wheelchair, you use those, and it's traditionally what they call for non-ambulatory patients.
And then the compression stockings are for
ambulatory patients, people who are walking in. So when they come into my store, a lot of times with a prescription or referral, they're walking in and they either have edema, or they have poor circulation, or they've had a blood clot in the past, or varicose veins and spider veins, and they just want to help treat those.
Now, the TED hose have to be measured.
It's good to be measured for compression hose, and you want to measure for those in the morning and have someone who knows what they're doing to measure. So that's one service I do have available for patients, that if they would call me and schedule an appointment, I can make sure that they're measured. There are those people who can't get there in the morning, and I understand that. So sometimes there's ways we can work with them based on their shoe size, or maybe based on measurements they've had previously, and they can actually be sized that way as well.
I was amazed at the number of fabrics and colors that you can get the compression stockings in.
They can come in a variety of styles and colors.
One of the other things is those compression stockings were good for people who are maybe taking long airline flights.
Yes, especially if you're traveling, you want to make sure that you wear something either in the car or on a plane trip that's going to be extraordinarily long. You want to make sure you're wearing some type of compression.
So maybe truck drivers would
yes,
benefit?
People who are truck drivers, or people who are standing up, teachers, nurses, people who have any type of leg discomfort, aching or pain in their legs. You probably want to wear compression to help you solve that problem.
Well, like I said, I was amazed at the number of fabrics, and when I think of compression hose, I thought ugly, 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 but you had some really attractive materials.
Thank you.
Now, the other thing about special orders, you had stated earlier about several different pieces of equipment that you carry. Now, do you have samples of those equipment in your store, or would someone come in and look at a catalog?
Well, one of the key things to realize is there are a lot of products out there, and I can't carry every single thing in the retail store, but I have access to hundreds of thousands of products, and I have personal knowledge and expertise. So I know a lot of products, so call me, I'll be able to help you out.
And if you're looking for one of the premier assisted living facilities in the Midlands area, give Brookdale Senior Living a call. They have locations in Harbison, off of the Park Lane Avenue, and over in Sumter. And we'll be right back.
Senior Connections, brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Senior Living Guide, serving the Midlands for more than a decade. Life Care Center of Columbia, doing whatever it takes and then some. Brookdale Senior Living, providing exceptional senior living for over 30 years. Aging Gracefully, a senior living consulting service.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Janet Halliday, and we are talking with Sion Owen, the owner of MedPoint Medical, and he's been telling us about durable medical equipment. Now, we're going to be short on time, but I want to ask, now, where are you located? Where's your store located?
I'm located in the Landmark Square Shopping Center, which is right across the street from the VA hospital. So very prime location between I-77 and Garner's Ferry Road.
Okay. And then do you service, I mean, I know you said earlier you travel all over the state for diabetic shoes, but what counties do you primarily service? Just the Lexington, Richland?
Lexington, Richland. With diabetic shoes, I can service people all over the state and can help them out with that because I do in-home fittings for those. But my retail store focuses mainly on the local market.
Okay. And then the payer sources that you accept, do you do billing for Medicare if it's covered by Medicare?
I've actually not doing billing for Medicare. I do actually work with several companies that I give referrals to for that purpose. Now with diabetic shoes, I am contracted out with certain companies that they'd automatically, you know, I know offhand Care Improvement Plus will pay for the shoes because I am contracted out. But I have worked with several companies. I can do the fitting and help the person make the right choice.
Now, if someone comes in and purchases an item from your store and it is covered by Medicare, then they can submit the receipt?
Yes, they can submit their own claim if they desire to do that.
And what are your hours?
I'm open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturdays from 10 to 3.
Okay. All right. And is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience today?
Well, I have a lot of expertise, and even if you're not in my local marketplace, I can ship directly to the patient, so that's one key thing. So if they're looking for a particular product that they've seen online, but not quite sure if it's a quality product, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to help them direct or maybe find the appropriate product that would work for them, and we can always ship it to your home statewide. So just keep me in mind with that.
And I want to be sure and tell you to stay tuned to Senior Connections because Sion is going to continue to offer tips on durable medical equipment through the prescription profile. So you're going to be finding out everything from how to purchase a cane to walkers and how to apply, what is it, for pain?
Oh, analgesic, pain analgesics or pain management stuff.
Thank you so much for being with
Appreciate
us today. I also, be sure and go to the website. We have a direct link that will take you to his website. And also pick up your documents from Hall Tax and Estate Planning. This is the Survivor's Guide and Vital Document Locator. Everybody needs this because if you're like me, even if you have it on your computer, you forget the code words, you need to have a hard copy. And be sure and pick up your copy of Senior Living Guide. It is now statewide publication, and the new one has just come out. We have a wonderful ad with all of our sponsors in it. So if you have need for their services, please give them a call first because they're supporting Senior Connections and they're supporting you. Thanks for being with us today, and may God bless. For more information on the topics discussed on today's show, to learn about upcoming senior events and support groups in the Midlands, or to submit a question, go to seniorconnectionssc.com. You can also call us at 803-739-4205.